What's up, everyone? Today we're going over how to put together a PC for CSGO. Let's get her done! First off, we'll start off with the Intel i5. I'm showing an i5 12600K, but any i5 would do for a low-end PC. If you're looking to save some money on a CPU, you can always use a 12600K. It gives great performance in CS2 and many other games. Another good option would be the 11600K or the 10600K. The only difference between the 12600K and those two is that those two are DDR4 and the 12600K is DDR5. You can run DDR4, but you would have to find a motherboard that also works with the 12600K being DDR4 memory. Next off, I'll be showing Intel's i7 series. This is the Intel i7 8700K. Great CPU, 6 core, 12 thread. Nothing wrong with an older CPU, still has lots of life in it. Next off, this is an i9 13900KF, an absolute monster of a CPU, preferred to only be used by enthusiasts looking for the best. It really is a powerful CPU that's gonna need one heck of a cooling system. Not for everybody. If you're looking for a lower end PC, just trying to get 60 frames per second in CS2, I would suggest looking for an i5 series or an i7 series for a reasonable price. For the i9s, you're more or less going to be an enthusiast looking for higher frames. That also depends on the generation of the CPU, but for most days and most people, the 12th gen and up are your viable options, and nowadays fairly good prices. And to cool your CPU, you're definitely going to want an aftermarket CPU cooler. I would suggest looking for a $40 to $50 cooler that can cool 200 watts or close to 200 watts for any CPU you use nowadays. This is a Peerless Assassin that I picked up on sale for $35. In my preference, a custom water-cooled loop is preferred, but if you can spare it, an AIO is also a great option that is cheaper. Next in this PC build, we're going to be talking about RAM. Ooh, and definitely not this RAM. This is DDR3. I will be making a video about some DDR3 RAM and CPUs, more or less for the enthusiasts that like the old hardware. Stay tuned for that video. And here we have some Patriot Vipers. This is some DDR4 RAM. Very overclockable, very stable. Runs in basically any motherboard with any CPU that uses DDR4 RAM. This here is more or less for the enthusiasts. This is DDR5, Corsair's Dominator Titaniums. This is a 48GB 7200 CL36 kit. Very nice. More than enough for anybody. This set of RAM is also DDR5, but is Corsair's Vengeance. It is set at 5600 and can be found for a very, very good price. It is a 32GB kit. Next off in this Counter-Strike 2 PC build, we're going to be going over your storage. Here we have a 980 Pro, 2 terabytes. Its speeds are extremely fast at 7,000 megabytes per second. A great option for the enthusiasts, but not needed. You can go for a cheaper option, of course. Something like this Crucial 500 gigabytes. You can pick this up for around $30 or $40 and is a great option with some speeds at about 3,000 megabytes per second. If you're looking for mass storage, if you're looking to record at all or stream or anything like that, I would suggest grabbing one of these. This is a hard drive, 2 terabytes, fairly cheap, about $40. I go with the Seagate Barracudas as I know they perform and last. For motherboards, you do not need anything expensive unless you're looking to overclock, and that is for the enthusiasts that are looking to spend the money. In my preference, a 6-layer PCB board is plenty. Anything more, you're just looking to overclock. Overclocking does help your frames in games, so that is something to consider. Any motherboard, any color, any design, any manufacturer, it is up to you. It can change from DDR3 to DDR4 to DDR5, but in preferences, ASUS makes great motherboards. For the older boards, Intel and ASUS make good boards. For the newer ones, ASUS still makes good boards, and Gigabyte makes also some nice DDR5 motherboards. You'll hear me talk about Intel a lot, as I do prefer Intel, but for AMD, anything above the Gen 3 Ryzen is a good option. Lots of choices, varying from ranges of prices and performance. Next up, we're going to have to look at some graphics cards. Here we have a 1080 Ti, but it's not needed. We can go down to a 1070 no problem and get 60 frames per second. This also depends on the CPU, but if you're looking for a newer gaming system, you're going to be getting a 12 gen and up, and you'll be getting 60 frames with a 1070 no problem. What I like to look for is 3 fans on the GPU, as I know it will have a beefier cooler and I won't have to worry about my GPU overheating while I'm gaming for long periods of time. For the lower end people, you can look at around the RX 580 for AMD. The 8 GB is a great option for around $100. For Nvidia, for the cheaper option, a 1070 or 1080 can be found for around the same price, $100. For medium gamers looking for more than 60 frames, you could be looking around a 6700 XT, or for Nvidia graphics cards, you're going to be looking for a 3060 Ti and up. Here we have a water-cooled 2080 Super, another great option for the enthusiasts. These GPUs are still selling for a very high price, so it's not for everybody. But again, water cooling keeps your GPU cooler, which means you won't have any stability issues in game, which again, for the enthusiasts, is another great option. Now I'll just get rid of some of this dust here, and then we'll get on to the power supplies. Alright, so here we have a power supply. The power supply should be chosen depending on your CPU and GPU that you have button. And the way to do that is to check how much your CPU will draw. So you would have to look for max power draw on that CPU, and that would go for the GPU, and combine those and add on 200. That is my safe rule. You do not need a modular power supply. Any power supply will do, but a gold rated is what I would suggest. Next off, we'll do storage. And here we have a cheap option, an SSD. This is a Kingston 240 gig, plenty enough for operating system and Counter-Strike 2. If you have the money to spare, these come in 1, 2, and 4 terabyte options. Each will come in different prices, of course, but more storage is always needed. Now you're going to need a PC case. There are many options out there. Just go out and Google cheap PC cases if you're looking on a budget. If you're looking for something nicer, you can search up high-end gaming PC cases. Your motherboard choice can vary the PC case that you use, so I would look into the motherboard that you're buying and PC case, as a EATX motherboard will not fit in an MATX PC case. Next off, we'll be going off for the peripherals. Here we have a keyboard. Keyboards are all visual and up to you. Also, the sound can also change how you like it as well. This here is a Red Dragon. It has some Cherry MX Reds. Sounds quite nice, but the keyboard sounds may vary to you. That is all up to you. Let me know in the comments below what you like. MX Cherry Reds, Browns, Blues. Next off, you're going to need a mouse. This is a Logitech. Logitech, in my opinion, makes some of the best mouse out there. They last forever, and if you are abusive on them, they also can take it. Here is a Wireless Pro. It has lightning speed, very fast charging, and lasts a long time without charge. My Logitech gaming mouse of choice is a wired Logitech G203 Prodigy gaming mouse. It has been a favorite for Counter-Strike 2 for years. Let me know in the comment section below what mouse of choice is yours. Won't be seeing much without a monitor. Here we have a Samsung 32-inch 165Hz. Monitors can range from hertz and price and size and price. For Counter-Strike 2, you do not need anything more than a 2K monitor. If you're looking for a cheaper monitor, a 1080p 60Hz 1 millisecond is your option. And lastly, you're not going to be hearing much without a headset. Here we have a HyperX. They have very nice sound quality, and the mic isn't half bad. Mildly attracts cat hair. Headsets are all up to you. The prices vary all around. Sound quality is fairly the same on most of the gaming ones. If you're looking for top tier sound, I would not go for a gaming headset and go for some sort of Sennheiser. Let me know in the comment section below what headset you prefer. Alrighty everybody, that is it for the video. If you learned anything, hit that thumbs up. If you liked the video, smash that subscribe button. Let's get her done.